boobies, and thank you so much for joining me back here. Today I want to talk about series that I need to finish. I'm a big series person. I prefer reading series. How many times am I going to say that in this video? Standalones are fine. I do crave a standalone every once in a while if I've read a bunch of series back to back to back. But overall, majority of my shelf are series. Majority of the books I've read are parts of series. So it's inevitable that I have not finished some of them that I need to. Back in the day, back in like high school, I used to be that person that would read a series just straight through, just consecutively. As I've gotten older, I don't do that as much anymore, unfortunately. I used to just go from one to the other, and now I started reading a lot digitally, which definitely contributes. So now I read what's available to me, or I just don't continue on because I'm in the mood for something else. I've really discovered I'm a big mood reader as well since starting my YouTube channel. So that just leaves a lot of opportunity and a lot of room for me to start a series and not finish it. So here's a list of series that I need to finish or at least continue on with. This isn't going to include series that I am reading that have not come out with the next book yet. Just for example, oh no. Anyways, for example, the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Is that the name of it? A Blood and Ash novel. So yeah, I guess so. I'm caught up on this one. The series isn't finished yet, so technically I do need to finish it, but I'm caught up on it. This is the last book that came out. I have read this one. I'm caught up on it. So I'm not going to include series like that, but I might include series that I'm in the middle of reading and maybe the last book hasn't come out yet, but I haven't even got to the last book that has come out yet, if that makes sense. I know I'm saying a lot of things right now. You'll get it. You'll get it. Let's just go on. The first series on this list is one that I don't know why I haven't finished yet. It's TheIlluminae Files by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I read this book 2 years ago now, maybe. I think I was still pregnant with Sam when I read this, I think. Anyways, it's been a while, and I absolutely ate it up. I ate it up. It was so good, and I have a reading vlog on it if you want a little bit more in depth of a talk about it. Basically, it's like a sci-fi YA book that is written in like multimedia format type thing. So you have like journal entries and logs, you have computer logs, I mean, files and things from the databases. I've never read anything like it, honestly. There might be other ones out there. I haven't read them. This was my first exposure to something like this, and it blew me away. With that being said, I've only read the first one. I know there are two more. I just think it's a trilogy, but I haven't read them, and I really need to finish them. I know people have said that the audiobooks for these are phenomenal. I read this one physically, and I'll probably read the next two physically as well, or on ebook. I probably won't listen to them just because I can't find them as an ebook for free. Because I'm all about free nowadays. I either read on Scribd, which isn't technically free. I do pay for it, but it pays for itself, really. If I had bought all the books that I read on Scribd, I would be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Or I read them on Libby, and Libby only has the ebook copies. So yeah, I need to finish this series. This next series is one that I need to continue on with, but it isn't finished being written yet. You'll see what I mean here in a second. I need to finish The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I read the first one. I read it in high school, maybe my freshman year of college, of undergrad, maybe. It's been a while. It's been a while. But I have read the first one, and I enjoyed it. I liked it. So I bought the second one, and I never read it. The Wise Man's Fear is the second one. We are still waiting on the third one, which is partially the biggest reason why I have not continued on with this series yet, because they're so dense as is. It's an adult fantasy series, so they're a little more difficult to retain for me than like YA series are. So I need to reread the first one before I read the second one. And I kind of want to wait until the third one comes out. That way I can just read them all together. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if I reread the first one to read the second one, by the time the third one comes out, I'm going to have to reread these two again so I can read the third one. Regardless of the reason why, I've only read the first one. I need to read the second one, and he needs to write the third one. So next up we have the Witcher series by Andrzej Sapkowski. This is book 2. This is The Time of Contempt, because I lent my first one out to someone and I don't have it on my shelf right now. So yes, I have read the first one, The Blood of Elves. I've read the second one, The Time of Contempt. Those are the only two I've read. I haven't read either of the short story collections, and I haven't read beyond this one. Again, I enjoyed it. I don't know why. I think it's just I've been in the mood for easy reads here recently, and easy reads for me usually translates to YA in my mind. This is an adult fantasy series. It's a little more hefty to get through. It takes a little bit more brain power for me to read it and comprehend it. So yeah, I haven't continued on with the series. Again, another reason, I'm reading a lot digitally. I think I need to place a hold for the third one so I can get around to it. So yeah, another adult fantasy series that I need to continue on with. Next up, I have another YA series. It's Snow Like Ashes. Is that the name of the series? It's by Sarah Rosh. I don't know if it has another name, if the series itself is different or if it's just the Snow Like Ashes series. Either way, I've only read the first one. I think there's at least 3. I don't know if there's more than that. I want to say it's just a trilogy, but I'm actually not sure. But I did not read this copy of this. This copy is at least like 6 years old. I'm pretty sure I bought this back in high school because I saw a booktuber mention it. I was like, hey, that sounds good. And then I didn't read it until this year. So that is the story of my life when it comes to buying books. This series follows a girl named Mira and her kingdom, I guess, maybe, society. They're part of like the Winter Court, who has been outcasted from the rest of society. There's like the Summerlands, the Summer Court, and I don't know. There's one for each season, I'm pretty sure, and then maybe like 2 other ones. I don't remember for sure. I'm sorry. Either way, it follows her and the outcasted court. The queen was murdered or something like that. And now they're trying to reestablish their kingdom. It was actually really good, and I would like to finish the series. I've just found other things that I've been more interested in here lately, so I do need to finish the series. Next up, I have an Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. I have read the first one. I listened to it on audiobook on Libby. I want to say phenomenal. If you get a chance, listen to the audiobook. The narrator does a great job. Narrators, rather, I preferred the male narrator to the female narrator. I think she just talked a little fast, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what threw me off about her, but the audiobook was great. The book was great. I understand the hype of this series here on BookTube. Why haven't I continued on with it? I don't know. I don't know. But I need to. And you know what? I have the next 2 books. I have A Torch Against the Night and A Reaper at the Gates on my shelf, ready to go, ready for me to pick up. And I haven't done it yet. The only one I'm missing is the last one. I don't know the name of it. I know it's got purple in the cover. It just came out here recently. I don't have that one, but I do have the next 2, so I don't know why I haven't read them yet. I need to kick myself in the butt, I guess. I just noticed it had the 4th one on the back. Sky Beyond the Storm. It's the last one. So yeah, there you go. The next series I don't feel as bad about because I am currently in the middle of reading it right now. And this is not the first one, but it is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I am on Air of Fire. I don't have the first 3 books, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Air of Fire. I don't have those. I'm reading them digitally on Scribd, but I do have the next 4 on my shelf. I used to have a really bad habit of, if I knew I wanted to read a series eventually, if I saw one of the books on bargain, I would go ahead and buy it and just hope to accumulate the rest of the series from bargain, you know, as time went on. Unfortunately, this was one of the series that suffered heavily from that. I did not ever find the first 3 books, so, but I am in the middle of, I think I'm right at the middle of Heir of Fire right now. So yeah, I do need to finish the series, but again, I don't feel as bad about it because I'm working on it. I'm at least working on this one. I'm reading it right now. This is the next one though, after Heir of Fire. Pretty sure, maybe, I think, who knows. Next up, I have a book that I tried to read and ended up DNFing because I listened to it on audiobook and I really feel like I would get more out of it as a physical read. And that is Aragon by Joseph Paolini. I think, I always struggle with his last name. But Aragon, again, I tried listening to this on Libby. The audiobook was good. It is a fantasy series though, and they're hit or miss for me when it comes to audiobooks and listening to them when they're fantasy. This one in particular, I feel like I was missing a lot. I feel like my brain was skipping around too much and I wasn't getting the whole story. I wasn't retaining everything that was happening. So this is a series I have technically started. I haven't finished the first book, but I did start it. It was just a DNF and I need to continue on with it. But I do have full intentions of actually reading this and continuing on with the series. The last book on this list is kind of similar to the last book I just talked about. It was a DNF, but I have intentions of going back to it. And that is A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kimmerer. Her last name gets me too. Yeah, I did not make it very far into this book. I actually have my marker still in here. I was just using the dust jacket. Page 33. Page 33. I went ahead and took that out. I just need to start over. So yes, I did start this book. I think it was on Christmas break. And I ended up just spending time with my family instead of reading. Classes started back. You know how it goes. So I didn't finish this book. I do have intentions of at least reading this one. And then we'll see. If I like this one and I want to continue on with the series, I will. If I don't, I won't. And that's how life goes. So yeah, there we go. I had intentions of going through my Goodreads and figuring out which series I've maybe started as like audio or digital books, you know, digital reads that I've read on my phone that I need to finish. But I think this is a pretty extensive list of series that I need to finish that are just on my bookshelf. These are all on my shelf. At least the first ones are, that I need to continue on with and finish. It's a little disappointing, honestly, because it's actually kind of heavy standing here holding these. It's disheartening to know that I own all of these, or at least partially own these series. And these are all just the first books, or one of the books of the series, and I haven't finished this many series. Just on my shelf I need to finish. Okay. Anyways, it's a lot. I'll get over it. I'll get to them eventually, right? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe down below, leave a comment. Let me know down below, what series do you need to finish? I hope you're doing better than I am. I hope you're not in this boat. I want to think better of you than I think of myself. You guys are awesome. I am so thankful for you. And we'll be back here next time, guys.